Hello again. It's Wednesday, November 21st here, but for you, it's going to be Tuesday, the 20th, probably about 7 p.m. So I left off and I covered the first video. I was actually trying to upload it on Dropbox. And then my IT staff said here that we can set up a YouTube channel that's private. So I tried to do that and I couldn't. So we're going to be setting that up today so I can upload the first video. This will be the second, and I may try and blow through all of them today. But I'm going to just continue to do one at a time. The first one, the last one, the first one, is the history of the owners, understanding the bar business, and keeping our sales down to a very simple, for the start, one item menu. Today I'm going to cover the loss prevention competitors, other loss bar and restaurant loss prevention competitors, and what they're currently offering. I'm also going to go over the cost breakdowns of our service, its affordability, the savings, and some data, some numbers on that. The third video, which will be after this one, is going to be sales reps timelines, from the first contact with the bar to having them signed up as subscribers. There will be 2 handoffs to CPHS, and I may have covered this in the first video. I'm going to repeat it again. And the fourth video is going to be hardware and software, the CCTV, and the custom applications. And the last one's going to be sales calculations and how much you guys will be earning over here. Now, one of the things that I'm going to start off with is that I have, obviously, this has not been done by me, nor has it been done by anybody in the United States. So going into uncharted waters is going to be exciting, but I think there may be a little resistance in even understanding it. But I'm planning on coming back a week from Thursday and jumping into sales myself. And so getting into this first section, the loss prevention competitors and what they offer. And again, I encourage you guys to go online and in some spare time kind of look and see what it is, because like I said in the last video, they're all going to pretty much lay out everything they do on their websites, just as we will. And primarily what they are providing, especially in the bar business, is bar inventory control. Most of it is hardware and software gauged towards bar inventory control. However, some of them require inputting data, like somebody going through and weighing or visually identifying the bottles and how much they've been consumed, entering that into, and obviously counting your unopened bottles, entering that into the software program, and then at the end of that shift, re-entering the data. Voila, you have an exact drink count, or not exact, but a near drink count of what should have been consumed. You can calculate that into how much your sales should have been. But again, this does not identify where your losses are coming from, especially in a bar that has more than one bartender or more than one shift. They're not going to know. If it's a bar that has one bartender and one shift, of course they're going to know. The other matter is there's another program, which is, you probably have all seen, where the system actually weighs the volume of every drink. I can tell you that we will be signing up Hamburger Mary's in West Hollywood and Long Beach. I've already spoken to them a month ago. They're online to come on board. The owner did invest a lot of money into that weight weighed drink control, which is 1.5 ounces. He scrapped it after a month or two because the fact that his regulars were not able to receive a heavy drink, and was counterproductive to his business. And this is something that you definitely are going to want to compare to with people that have no loss prevention. Is like, you don't want to go with these other systems because, first of all, you have a regular customer. Unless you're at a resort or an airport or in a tourist location, bar, where you're never going to have a repeat customer, that system's fantastic. But if you want to be in a place where you have regulars and you want your bartender to pour a shot and a half or even a double to your regulars, you should allow them to do it. He is a bar owner. Otherwise, they're going to go somewhere else that they do pour like that. And he lost business. A lot of regulars at Hamburger Mary's, and he scrapped that system. So he's looking forward to signing up. That'll be one of my sign-ups, or I might hand it off to one of you. So that's one example. Now, I did, of the 14 loss prevention companies that I contacted, each one of them I ran down my history in the Hawaii bar I was about to open. 2 of them said that they would provide me with the drink count, and I know I mentioned this in the last video, and that's why I'm hesitating. One of them came in at 6 hours for $200, and the other one came in at 6 hours for $250, or 4 times a month for $1,000. Both of them have different software and hardware applications that tie into the POS. One of them does a 30-60-30, which we're going to adopt, and that obviously takes 5 or 10 minutes. And one of them also sells hardware. So, in fact, the installation, and they wanted like $3,000 on their bid, and I will forward those to each of you to review. One of them is DTT USA. They have 34,000 clients, bar and restaurant clients, and the other one is a VDO. I don't know how many of clients they have, but they are both very large players, and they are both the only 2 that would give me a quote of doing an exact bar count that you cannot use software for. There is no software application. It requires human custom precision surveillance. Custom precision human surveillance. So that's the name of the company. Repeat it, memorize it. CPHS is custom precision human surveillance. And nobody's offering this service because nobody can afford to. We can. So, okay, cost breakdown. This is not set in stone, but it is going to be set in stone next week. And then it's liable to change once we get to starting our subscriber signups. I have right now month to month at $400 or $500 month to month. I have our contract terms right now at 2 years, but I may extend it to 3 years at $200 a month. Again, remember that when you go and approach your first bar, you're going to offer them a first audit for free. We're gonna hope that they have a CCTV system already in place, so we can immediately have that scheduled for them and give them their first report. Another thing that I'm going to be pursuing before I come back this next week is going to be a standalone small CCTV camera with its own brains that you guys are going to own. You're going to buy yourself. You're going to own it. You're going to go into a bar. You're going to connect your brains to their Wi-Fi. You're going to get a little Velcro, those little things for hanging up hooks and stuff. You're going to hang that Velcro. You're going to put your camera in the best location to count that bartender's drinks, everything from the entire bar. I'm going to give you guys specs on this hardware before I come. And that way, we will not have to wait for their CCTV cameras either to be adjusted to cover the bar correctly or for them to be installed. We're going to be able to give them their free service immediately, and then we're going to sign them into a contract that's on them to get that system in there as soon as possible. But until they get their system in there working properly for us, which is on them, at least we'll have them up and then know that they got a month to do it. So this is something that I just kind of came up with the past couple of days to not slow us down in the event that they don't have a CCTV system in place, or cameras incorrectly placed, or in the coverage area, where we don't have to wait for their tech people to come and move things around. We can give them their test right away. So again, right now I've set it at 2 years for $200 a month, or month to month at $400. That's subject to change between now and next week, and but not much. And then it's also subject to change after my first sales staff come back and say, listen, Blake, we're not doing this at this price because, you know, it's just too easy. We're going to raise it a little bit, whatever it is. Not too much. I don't want to raise it too much, but we may raise it at a different price at a later time after I get the feedback from you. So affordability and savings. Let me just give you some numbers to think about. The cost of a drink in a bar is, now you can't get pretty much anything less than $10. Maybe a domestic beer or a beer. Everything else is over 10, you know, 10 to 15 now. So the cost of the service is the cost of one drink every other day from that bar to provide us a service that's going to be provided to them once a week of one specific bartender of their full drink count, plus a 30-60-30, plus a closing report, which is time of close. So if you break it down, $200 right now, $200, that is a pretty simple way for the owner to realize how affordable we are. Now, we can also be piggybacking on any other loss prevention service that they already have in place. Nobody's offering this service. So that's another thing too. They already have one in play. This is a very small increase, and they're going to get the best reporting that they could possibly get. Now, if you've read my private placement memorandum, I talk in there about, there's a saying in the bar business, if your bartender is only taking 10% or losing you 10%, don't ever let that bartender go. Now, I want to talk about that. I want to give you the numbers of that 10%, with those 10%, which is a good bartender that's not robbing you. Okay, 10%. 10% of the bar that does 100 drinks a night. 100 drinks is a bar that's grossing $1,000 to $1,200 a night. Grossing. Now that's the entire, if it's a restaurant bar, that's the entire floor as well as the people drinking at the bar. I'm talking about the entire bar production. 10% is 10 drinks of $1,000 to $1,500 gross. So 10% is a good bartender. Now 10% is going to be $100 a day, at least $100 to $150 a day. That comes out to $3,000 to $4,500 a month. That comes out to $36,000 to just about $50,000, $35,000 to $50,000 a year, and that's at 10% losses. So our services right now are $2,400 a year. You take those numbers, write them down, memorize them, you know, have them ready to spit back out when you sit in front of this bartender. That's the end of this video, and I came in at 13.5 minutes. Any questions? Obviously, I hope to see some emails back from you guys.